Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated welterweight prospect. It is, of course, Mr. Elliot. Wow, Elliot, welcome back on the show, mate.
Yes, mate. Happy to be back on.
It's always a pleasure. I am always good when speaking with you, Elliot. That is the truth. We last spoke back in September. It's always good to check in with you. How have things been?
Yeah, mate. To be honest, they've been all right since my fight in September. Obviously, I went on holiday. We took the kids on holiday. Then we come back in the gym because there was like suspected fight news. Then that one fell through. So I was back home for like 10 days and I got another call. Then I'm back in. This is my fourth fight now that I've come back for. 3 of them fell through, but this one that I'm fighting on next Sunday is actually coming off. So yeah, it's been a bit mentally draining, you know what I mean? But now I'm happy that I've got a fight date and I'm back at.
So to confirm, that's 4 fights since September. This is the 4th one.
This is the 4th one, but obviously the 3 didn't happen, you know what I mean? So this one's actually happening now. So yeah, I've been in the gym. I've been non-stop in the gym. Obviously, when I find out that the fights are off or not going to happen, I sort of go home for like a week or 2 weeks max. Then I'm straight back up here because obviously we think we're fighting again. But yeah, this one I was going to fight Feb 1st. That one fell through. Then obviously I had another couple of weeks at home. Then we were straight back in for this fight. So yeah.
Boy, oh boy, what a crazy time. I do feel though that, you know, you're slowly but surely becoming a bigger name amongst the casual fans, maybe. I have seen your name sort of mentioned more and more over social media in recent months, Elliot.
Yeah, I have as well, to be fair. Like, obviously, I think it's only right anyway, you know what I mean? I don't pipe up too much. I don't try and play this sort of character, you know what I mean, on social media. I just get in the ring and fight, and I'm willing to fight anyone, you know what I mean? And I feel like I've got a fan-friendly style. I bring the heat. I always want to knock people out. And I think where I've been so active when I first come back and moved to the Midlands and I had quite a lot of fights quite quickly, I think people have been able to see that sort of jumping on the bandwagon, you know what I mean? So it's good to get the backing of the casual fans that I don't even know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man. It's a fantastic thing. Let's talk about this upcoming fight. As you say, it's penciled in, thankfully, April the 20th in Birmingham at the Resorts World Arena against Lucas Ballingall. Elliot, is this the best opponent you'd have shared a pro ring with?
Obviously, I can't say that until after the fight, you know what I mean? But I'm taking it as that. I think on paper it is because obviously he's been crying out for opportunities and no one really wants to fight him either, you know what I mean? And now he's got his chance to fight on the big show and the big stage. I think he's going to be hungry and he's going to come to win, obviously, and that's what I think makes this fight dangerous, you know? So I've got to be switched on and just do what I do.
Yeah, I mean, he had a really fun fight with Casey Benjamin. It almost come to a terrible end for him in the final round. I remember watching that one. I'm glad that you said that, to be honest with you, because I think Lucas is, you know, very underrated. He's probably an underachiever at this point in his career. You know, he's got skills. I really think this is a great fight. What should fans expect? And obviously, you yourself, you know, in terms of him as an actual boxer, you spoke there about, you know, not getting the opportunities and the rest of it, but what do you make of him and his skill set as well?
Obviously, if I tell you the God's honest truth, I ain't really watched too much of him. Like, I don't really like to watch my opponents because I remember before when I was at the iBox, I fought in the lockdown. I fought a fella called Jamie Stewart, and he just got the draw with Marco. He was unbeaten, and so was I, obviously. And yeah, I remember watching him on YouTube, and I'm thinking, mate, this guy is shit. I'm gonna fucking smash him, you know what I mean? And then obviously I won the fight comfortably, but I didn't box at all well. So in my head, I thought I was gonna flatten him, and he's not like, do you know what I mean? I underestimated him, and then I thought, do you know what? I'm never doing that again. So I don't really like to watch my opponents, but obviously my team have watched him. They've told me that he's a bit tricky, you know what I mean? He's a bit of a mover. So yeah, we'll see. I think this fight can only go one of 2 ways. He's either going to try and nick the fight and try and nick the rounds and be awkward and move and just try and nick a couple of shots and try and win the rounds that way, or he's going to try and try and stick it on me a little bit, but it is what it is. I'm prepared for both sort of styles, and I believe I can deal with both and get the win.
The size is definitely a factor that's on your side. I think that, skill for skill, I like the fight, but I feel like the size is definitely with you. I think you are going to be a bit too big for him, in all honesty, in my opinion.
Yeah. See, I know that he's fought at lightweight and light welter, and then obviously he boxed Casey at welter, but listen, it is what it is, isn't it? I don't know. I'm a big welter, you know what I mean? I'm a big boy for this weight, so I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I've got a horrible style for anyone at welterweight. Do you know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to getting in there with a good fighter, one who's obviously avoided, and then I get to show my levels. You know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, if my memory serves me right, and I hope I'm not making this up, I'm pretty sure at one point he was supposed to fight Archie Sharp years ago. Fight never ended up happening. But obviously, you're a lot bigger than Archie, so I was just thinking
of course,
a bit like
we're weights above. Because I remember before when we was both at the high box, I think Archie was telling me about him. Like, he's been hungry for an opportunity for years. You know what I mean? And obviously, I think he was calling Archie out because at the time Archie was the boy, wasn't he? And he was on. He was Frank Warren's fighter, and he was quite highly ranked for certain governing bodies and things like that. And I think Lucas just probably was trying to get his opportunity and get his chance on the big stage and was calling for that fight, but probably didn't make sense for Archie to fight him, you know what I mean, at that time. So that fight never came through. But that was a super featherweight, you know what I mean? So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I ain't been super featherweight that sort of weight for years, you know what I mean?
Yeah, since you was about 7. Yeah.
So obviously, I've definitely got the size advantage, but obviously that ain't. Hopefully, I don't think it just comes down to that. I feel like I'm just a better fighter. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, for
sure.
I
get to show that.
And a win here, Elliot. How many times would you like to be out again this year, ideally?
Well, I've actually signed the 3-fight deal with Boxer. You know what I mean? So this is my first one.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, this is my first fight, so obviously it'd be nice. So that's April. So if I can get out another one or another 2, I don't really know how it works. Obviously, I've signed a 3-fight deal in the year. So is it April to April, or is it 2025? I would like to be out again. Realistically, it's probably going to be looking like end of July, August. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Realistically, I don't know what's happening. If not, it'll be September again. Then probably I'd like to get out before Christmas. You know what I mean? But it all depends on what my team and what Boxer do. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you can't plan too far ahead.
No.
But yeah, knowing you, you'd like to be out twice more after this. Obviously, it's part of that Whittaker Cameron 2 undercard.
Yes.
Obviously, you've signed with Boxer now, like you just said, but what were your thoughts on the ending to their first fight? It was definitely controversial.
Yeah, obviously, to be honest, mate, I haven't watched the full fight, so I don't want to comment on the fight too much because I ain't even watched it. You know what I mean? I don't watch loads of boxing. Like since I've come to the Midlands, I've definitely got better at putting it on the TV and that. But I didn't watch that fight. I just saw I actually saw the clips on social media. You know, where they go over the ropes and that. Listen, from what I'm hearing, Ben started well, then looked like he was feeling the pace, and then obviously that happened, and people saying he's milked it or whatever, but it is what it is. Only Ben knows if he was injured or if he milked it. You know what I mean? Everyone can just say what they want, but only he knows the truth. So yeah, I think this time round, I feel like, do you know what? I feel like he needed that a little bit. You know what I mean? Just a little bit of humble pie. You know what I mean? Like, and now I feel like he's quietened down a little bit and he's back to a grafting. And I think I think he might get the job done this time.
Yeah, I mean, not many people were giving Liam Cameron a chance in the build-up, but obviously, as you say, it was a much tougher fight than he would have expected. And now the rematch, whether you like it or not, is 10 times bigger.
It's much better now. The rematch is massive. You know what I mean? It's
headlining now.
Headlining now, yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's massive. And to be honest, yeah, when that fight got made, I'm pretty sure I think Liam Cameron boxed Lyndon Arthur, didn't he?
Yes.
And I watched that fight, and I was just, it was like a bit of a stalemate fight. Nothing really happened. I didn't really catch fire or nothing. And I thought, and that fight got made, and I thought, oh, let me have a little look on this guy on this box rate. And I looked on box rate, and then I went to his amateur, and he won the ABAs, you know.
Yeah, he's a good amateur.
Fucking won the ABAs, and he beat Dudley O'Shaughnessy, I think, twice. Then when I see that, I thought, fucking hell, that's a hard fight. Like, do you know what I mean? Even though I'd seen bits of the Lyndon Arthur fight, then, yeah, when I see that he beat Dudley, and obviously we know Dudley from West Ham and that, and I fucking hell, what a fighter he was. And to win the ABAs back in them times as well, I thought, fuck, that's a good fight, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of people probably underestimated him, but when I see that, I thought, do you know what, he's a solid fighter. And then obviously he sort of proved it there in Riyadh, you know what I mean? Or was it Riyadh? Yeah, it was Riyadh, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right then. Well, yeah. My final question for you before we let you go, Elliot. I'm asking everyone about this every week now, really. But Eubank Benn, April 26th. Yes. Who have you got and why? Try not to sit on the fence.
Yeah. No, I won't sit on the fence. Listen, it's a hard one. You know what I mean? Because since all that egg shit come out and the fucking drugs and that, really, like, I feel like anyone who gets done with drugs, doesn't matter how much money they bring into the sport or generate, they should get a ban. You know what I mean? Because I'm talking lifetime ban. Because if I got caught with anything like that, I don't generate the money yet, so I'm getting a lifetime ban. You know what I mean? Liam Cameron got a 4-year ban for fucking 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then you're getting little slaps on the wrist. I'm not really getting. Obviously, he was out for a year, but when you look at it, he was lights out in people. Do you know what I mean? At a certain time in a couple of rounds, Chris Algieri, Vargas. You know what I mean? Like, he was putting them asleep. There's these. I know they're probably past it, but they're solid fighters. And then since it's all come out and he had the other fights, I think they've all gone to the points. You know what I mean? So it's a bit dodgy. So I ain't really too keen on the fight. I think it depends what Chris Eubank turns up and I don't know, is Benn going to be strong enough? He's definitely got. I think Ben's got more of the advantage just because, like Chris said, I've seen on Instagram, like, Ben ain't fought at 147 in his last few fights. You know what I mean? He's been fighting at 154, so it's not like he's actually jumping up 2 weights. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think he's got actually the advantage coming up to middle over Chris. So it's an interesting fight. I think it depends on emotions. If he can control his emotions, Conor Benn, that is, and just depends what fighter turns up. I think that's who's going to win. But it's a mad fight, isn't it? Fucking hell.
Elliot, you said you weren't going to sit on the fence, and you went and sat on it.
Yeah, I know, but John, I can't really pick a winner. Do you know what I mean?
You're all good. You're all good. You can.
I can't. You know what I mean? I can't really pick. Who do you think's going to win?
I've been riding with Eubank for many of the reasons you said, and just I think even though you're right, you know, like for Eubank to come down to 160, it's not too ideal. A lot of people are looking at it like, you know, that's going to favour him actually, and you know he's boxed at middle before, Conor hasn't. Yeah. But you make a good point actually there. You know, his last few fights have been at 154. It looks like he's bulked up a bit as well.
Yeah, so I think he has got a bit of an advantage there over Chris. But then also, I feel like Chris has probably boxed at the higher level, ain't he? He's boxed better fighters.
Without a doubt.
So that could pay. But it's all experience. I just think if Chris Eubank turns up, then I'd favour Chris. It just depends what Eubank turns up, doesn't it? So yeah, I'll probably lean towards Chris Eubank. But it is a good fight, you know what I mean? It's a historic fight, so best of luck to both of them. They're going to both earn a nice bit of dough as well for the family, aren't they? So
yeah, for sure they will.
That's what it comes down to.
That is where it comes down to. Just before we let you go, Elliot, if you've got any closing words to the listeners, like I say, last spoke to you in September, but it's always great having you on.
Yeah, well, obviously, listen, if you are listening in and you can't make the fight to Birmingham, then tune in on Sky Sports April 20th to watch me fight Lucas Ballingall. I think that fight can steal the show, you know, with both two good fighters and both going to bring our best to win. So, yeah, get on that and shout out to my sponsors as well for all the support.
Well said, my friend. Listen, Elliot, I want to thank you for your time as always. Best of luck for April 20th. No problem whatsoever, and we'll speak after the fight for sure.
Definitely. Cheers, mate.